One more thing. The ceiling of the Mavs has changed. We'll tell you how far they can go on today's Like a Mavs. One more thing.
I'm here because I have to be here.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
That's it. It's me versus the machine. Don't let his lightness take away from his quickness.
You can rest later. You're young.
And then recover here.
Wait. One more thing.
Yeah. Welcome. You're still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member and NBA channel manager at the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Robinhood Gold. They provide the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Joined as always, co-host the One More Thing King. What you got for me, Isaac Harris?
Ceiling is the roof. Bill Belichick, North Carolina too.
Wild.
There's
insane story.
Goat after goat from Chapel Hill. Justin Jackson too.
This is the One More Thing. It's a bonus episode of Locked On Mavs. So if you missed our episode where we talked about the next puzzle for Jason Kidd to figure out, we talked about Luka's off-ball play and his usage and all that. Go check out that episode. But today we're going to talk about the rest of the West. We'll talk about where the Mavs will finish in the West now. Let's re-predict. Now that we've seen about 30% of the season, let's talk about if there's a West team that is more of a threat than we thought going into the season. But let's start here, Isaac Harris. The ceiling of the Dallas Mavericks, has it changed for you now that we've seen this team for 30% of the season?
Oh, wait. I mean, you said it has a while ago. Or were you just like bullcrapping for the cold open?
No.
Because I just think that I think it's gotten like better, like reinforced.
100%.
But here's the thing. I wouldn't say that it's like gotten higher because I think they were like title contenders to begin the season. I just think that opinion or that take is reinforced more after 30% of the season. I'm not looking at it and saying, I don't know, they could be like a first round type of team. You can't just like assume. But for me, it's them, OKC and Boston at the top of the league.
Yeah. And that to me is why it has changed, because you would look at this team before the season and go, well, what if the Denver Nuggets? Okay, well, what if the Memphis Grizzlies are back? Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves are still right there. Well, what if the Phoenix Suns added some good guys, like all of a sudden, and you start looking through there, and the West, it's just the Mavs and the Thunder to me. You look at the Rockets and you say, I don't think that's a team in the playoffs that scares you too much. You look at the Grizzlies. The Mavs have played the Grizzlies well. The Warriors, that's a different team, but they're kind of in a slide right now. They're 3-7 in their last 10. The Clippers are sixth. The Clippers are sixth. Not worried about that team. And then Denver is having a ton of problems. The Lakers, Timberwolves are 9th. The Suns are 10th. It's like these teams have all kind of fallen down and are lower than they've been expected. The Mavs are about right where we kind of expected, even though they've had crazy things happen. And the ceiling has changed because they've been through so much adversity. They have had everybody. They've had their full top 9 together for like 5 games.
Yeah.
5. These 20? They've had 20 games of injuries all over the place. They've also, their schedule now, they will have been like traveling basically for 41 days. They will not be in the same place to play a game in consecutive games from November 8th till they play home games here after this Golden State Warriors game. It's wild what this team has been through.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I answer the question about ceiling has changed, it's more of like who can realistically win a title, because I think OKC is like they finished with the top seed in the West, so it's not about like I think that they're gonna like finish with the top seed or have a better record than like them or Boston. But I'm like, who can realistically win a title right now? I think it's those 3 teams, and it's for a lot of the reasons that you said of like, I mean, you could look at the schedule and say, oh, they could have. Like the schedule, you can look at the sickness and how many players miss games. You can look at the new, you can look at the new additions and be like, dude, all of them are working out right now. You can look at, like they've won all these games without Luka, and like, so there's just like stuff across the board that I'm like, man, you've like reinforced the idea of like what type of team you are. So yeah, I'm with you.
Boston's just as good. The Thunder are just as good as you thought. That's the thing. And those 2 things haven't really changed too much. We haven't seen Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein play together. And that's going to be the interesting thing for the Thunder, I think. But it's still those 2 teams, and then it's the Mavs right under them.
Yeah. And nothing changes how I view OKC and Boston. They're really, really good.
No.
So
now if you had to re-predict the West, where would the Mavs finish? Because at the beginning of the season, I think at the beginning of the season you had them 3, I had them 2. So I won't change where I have them. I had them 2.
Yeah, I think it's 2 or 3. It's somewhere through there. I mean, if they slip to 4, I wouldn't be like shocked. But I think that it's like they're a home court team. But like, yeah, I mean, if you tell me like Memphis finished at second with Memphis's depth is so good.
Yeah.
Like if they finish with a better record than the Mavs, I wouldn't be shocked, but I wouldn't be like worried either come playoffs.
Would you be shocked if the Rockets finished with a better record than the Mavs? Because right now they have one.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Unless they trade for Jimmy Butler. I think that changes little things for them.
Man, then all of a sudden the West All-Stars are just...
And same goes for Phoenix too. If like Phoenix swaps out Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler, like that helps them.
What a heist that would be.
I mean, they've pulled off some heists before, so
they did get Tyus Jones for the minimum.
Yeah. Nothing would shock me in this league when it comes to player movement nowadays.
Yeah. So the Mavs, I think, they're right at the top of the West. And at the beginning of the season, they started 5-7, and we were feeling not so great about them. But then now I feel like they've recorrected, they've course corrected, and they're back to where the track that we expected them to be. We expected them to be a really good team, the deepest team we've seen around Luka so far, some continuity from the finals run, and now they're back on track.
Yeah, it's all the stuff that I mentioned earlier. That helps you win games as a regular season thing. Like there's a difference. Like, oh, you have Luka, you have Kyrie, you've won these playoff games, but like you're not really gonna like be able to win enough, regular season games to be in the top 4. It's just more of like a make the playoffs mindset because you have the pieces and the formula come playoff time. Because of all the reasons we listed earlier, that's shown that like, oh, they can win a lot of games this regular season, even if X, Y, and Z goes wrong. Like, I mean, you could have to start before X and say all this stuff goes wrong. You could still win basketball games.
I think one of the things that has changed their ceiling the most, or at least has helped them re-solidify where they are, is how good the role players have been. You mentioned all the new additions have worked or have played well at some point. Klay, Naji, Dinwiddie, Grimes, they have all worked out. It's like all of them have hit, at least through a couple of games throughout the season so far, have been the ideal version of what we expected them, like the top end production that we could have expected from one of those players.
Yeah, I mean they're all working out. Like
now they're in the gym, they're grinding, they're putting in work, they're watching tape.
Problem. When you bring in, what's the likelihood that when you bring in 4 guys and they're a part of your rotation that they're all for like going to be working out?
Wild.
Like you're at least probably going to have like 1 or 2 of those there. Like, oh man, this is kind of like not working, but they're all working right now.
Then Nico Harrison, he just puts his hand on things and they just seem to all work. Except Graham.
Yeah.
Oh,
come on! Don't take shots at him while he's down. That's mean.
Coming up, which team is more of a threat in the West than you thought? And is there any other team that has a chance against the Thunder? We'll talk about that more coming up.
I don't believe you shouldn't be here.
Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Robinhood Gold. Go check out Robinhood Gold. Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25 APY on uninvested cash and rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. You're going to want to get that. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, Isaac. Which West team is more of a threat than you would have thought at the beginning of the season? Threat to the Mavs, threat to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take this, and I'll have 2 answers for this, by the way. One, that a team that's doing way better than I thought, and then one, I mean, this is going to be like a cop-out answer, so you can make fun of me all you want.
I'm ready.
I think OKC's even better than what I thought.
No, that's such a dumb answer.
Here's the thing. I was watching that game the other night.
So you're more scared of the Thunder now than you were before, like in the offseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would still pick the Mavs to win that series because we had the best player, and we beat them before and like all stuff. And PJ and OKC.
That's right.
Here's the difference though with OKC that I don't think hardly any other team can do. Is we've talked about that defensive stuff, how a lot of teams have the pick, and how Dallas has taken what the defense is giving them right now. They're 22nd in the league in 3-point attempts. And because they're staying, a lot of teams are staying home on the shooters, Darren, Luka, and Kyrie, all the stuff. OKC can do both. Like they have such good like perimeter defenders. They have such a like good guy, like good perimeter guy in Lou Dort. As annoying as he is, and as much crap that he gets away with, he still like is up in Luka's grill enough to where you don't have to bring a help defender.
Yeah.
For OKC, and then the other guys can stay home on their guys. So that's what, and you know, the Hartenstein stuff, like watching him more than Caruso. I was always kind of in the camp of like, I thought the Giddey Caruso trade went too far. Of like people like, dude, Chicago should be banned from the league for this trade. And it's like, no, I mean, Caruso's like good, but it's not like he's Gary Payton, and he really helps their team and stuff. But it's the Hartenstein edition that I think is like almost just as big or bigger than Caruso.
No, definitely bigger. That's
like,
the one to me.
He's such an underrated player, and like them to have Chet, you know, to kind of one of those two guys out there or both of them, and they have so much depth, and so that's my like cop out answer. My other answer would be the Clippers. I don't think I don't think they're a threat to Dallas in like a playoff series, but I didn't think in the year of 2024 of our Lord and Savior, a team would still be running Harden ball, and they're running Harden ball, man, and it's working. And James Harden's playing really good basketball, and all the pieces are working around him. Like if you told me, hey, they're trading Paul George, or they're letting Paul George walk,
didn't trade him.
Yeah, they're letting him walk, and Kawhi Leonard isn't going to be playing forever. Like where are the Clippers? I was already down on them, and then when that news came out about, when like Kawhi being hurt and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, well, I feel even better about my prediction. They're 6th in the West, and they have a winning record and all that stuff. So that surprises me.
That would have been my answer for all those reasons too. The Clippers, I thought they were going to be out of the play, and they still could be. They're only 3 games above 500, and 1.5 games above the Kings. So, but they've been definitely more of a threat than I thought. The Rockets for me too. You had the Rockets higher. I had the Rockets, I think, out of the play, and they've been way better than I expected. They're 2nd in the West right now.
Yeah,
they've been really good.
I thought they were going to be really good. I'll do a non-cop out answer of a team that I would say like would be like my second like threat if I had to pick somebody right now, like behind OKC. Even though I don't think it is, because I think Mavs are in that level above everybody else. It would be Golden State, and a part of that is because I think they do swing and make the trade for another like really good player.
Oh, they do finally. It's been 12 years.
No,
when did Kevin Durant leave? It's been since then.
I know, but you have Steph and Draymond. They're playing really good. Some of their pieces, and if they go out and get another guy, like it's just you can't tell me, no matter who you are, if you start a playoff series against Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Draymond Green, that you're not a little bit worried, especially if they go get somebody else.
And the Mavs just struggle to defend them.
Yeah,
they always have.
They've played each other in the playoffs before. They have some wing guys to at least throw at Luka and Kuminga and Wiggins. It's just, that would just be the next team if I had to pick somebody.
The teams that are, the team outside of the Mavs that has the best chance to beat the Thunder is, I kind of feel like it's Memphis.
Man, it's hard to just imagine anybody doing it.
Or the Nuggets. I mean, figuring out just Jokic being Jokic.
I think Jamal Murray's cooked.
That is so tough.
It's tough.
Imagine telling somebody like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, hey, the Mavs are trading for Kyrie Irving, and in 2 years from now, he's going to be much better he's going to be head and shoulders better than Jamal Murray, because Jamal Murray would be.
Could they go get Jimmy Butler?
MPJ? Who says no?
Okay. Is it Phoenix?
Oh. If Kevin Durant plays,
I'm not worried about Phoenix. I think we own them. So, I'm not. There's no worry in me about Phoenix. But, I guess if you want to talk about Minnesota, but there's just so many weird vibes about Minnesota right now.
It's only if Kevin Durant plays for Phoenix. That is it. What they're when Kevin Durant plays, they're 11-2.
Dang.
So they're 11-2. What the rest of the way they're 1-9 when Kevin Durant doesn't play. That's nuts. Oh, Booker. Remember all the Suns fans that were saying Booker is on Luka's level? Like, get out of here.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
Get out. He is not Team USA book has not followed him to this season yet. Yeah. It's tough. I mean,
the West though.
Who's beat the Thunder so far? They have 5 losses. They lost to Denver. They lost to Golden State. They lost to the Mavs without Luka, the Spurs, and the Rockets. So yeah.
Yeah, I need to really dive into some of like OKC's weaknesses stuff and like, all right, what type of team? They just have so much length and so much athleticism. I just honestly feel like Dallas is the only team that can really beat them.
It's wild.
And that and
seeding is going to be very important this season to not have a Mavs Thunder second round series again.
Yeah, that's why I'm finishing second or third. It's going to be huge. Like you gotta get to the conference finals for that one.
Give the people what they deserve, Mavs.
Hopefully. I don't know. Maybe you want to knock them out early if you think you're running on fumes later.
Thanks for listening to this bonus episode of Locked On Mavs. Check the QR code for different ways to follow the show. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked On Mavs. One more thing.
Peace out.
Boom.